Hi everyone, we're going to get started and I'm going to talk to you today about science and social studies and integrating literacy. So here we go. Hopefully you can see my screen. Okay. Okay, so science and social studies and literacy, it's really important to integrate science and social studies into literacy and find ways that we can do this. There's lots of different ways. So this is actually available to you in the module too. So I create a little Bitmoji classroom library where you can actually click on the different books and you'll go to a read aloud on YouTube of each of the different books. So I tried to put a mix of science and social studies. Also, I wanted to represent diversity. And this book here, Just Ask, is an awesome book about differences as well. So you will have access to this in our module this week. But there's lots of different books. Even if you're doing this virtually, doing your service learning with students, you can find different books that they can access, they can click on and read about. Okay, so science and literacy. So having the children, really no matter what age they are, have a notebook. So even preschool children, you can have a science notebook that they have, and they can track data and they can make notes or drawings so that they can look back at their work. So say that you're having them plant something, a flower, or sometimes we do these little plastic cups with the soil and grass seed, and then they have draw a face on the front of it, and you could have them water it, put it in sun, and then trace or draw pictures of what they see as the grass begins to grow. You can do that with many different things. You can have them go out and observe the weather and draw pictures about the weather, about the moon. Lots of different ways you can have children record data and jot down their ideas. And again, if you want to make sure it's developmentally appropriate. So for pre-K, you would have them do more drawings. And in older children, you would have them do more writing, or a combination of both. So this whole idea of science notebooks and literacy skills really overlap science and literacy. So writing in notebooks encourages writing. So say they're really enjoying science, but they don't so much enjoy writing. Well, if they're enjoying science, they might not mind writing and jotting notes or drawings about what they're seeing because it's something they're enjoying. And then this connects to language and literacy. So it's really important to note that observation drawings are pictures of what is real and not imagined. So there's a difference between creative drawing and scientific drawing. So when we want them to observe, we want them to actually draw what they see and not what they imagine. So sometimes you can give them, this is where this would be appropriate, you could give them a picture of a cup and then that's already drawn for them, and then they provide the details in the drawing, and that is observational drawing. You don't have to give them the picture of the cup. They can draw their own cup, but that's just an example of maybe a way that you can differentiate and modify. So comprehension and meaning making. So most powerful byproducts of science notebooks are meaning making and comprehension. So we don't just want them to draw and write in their science notebooks. We want them to have conversations about it. They can have conversations with peers about what they've drawn and recorded. They can have conversations with their teachers, with their families. So recording data forces children to observe more carefully. And these entries can help children think more deeply about what they're learning about and help them make sense of it and figure it out. So this is a great opportunity for teachers to scaffold learning and have, ask them what if questions and deeper thinking questions. So also science notebooks support English language learners and children with disabilities as well. So English language learners in particular have opportunities to discuss and collaborate when they're using their science notebooks. They also have the ability to draw instead of writing. So maybe they're not able yet to write as clearly, but they are able to draw and share their learning. So it provides different ways of showing learning, and we absolutely want to have that option. And so even if you were doing this virtually, there's lots of different apps that students can use to draw and share that, or they can even find pictures or do something, or take pictures actually, and upload the pictures would be a great way to also support what they're learning. They can make videos. So social studies and literacy. So you definitely want to teach children, this is for both social studies and literacy. You can also have, of course, social study notebooks, but you want to teach nonfiction reading strategies. So you could have children research historical figures. You could do a day in history where they use calendar, news, or sharing time. And it's always good to discuss current events as long as they're developmentally appropriate with young children. You would be surprised about the things that young children are capable of understanding and learning. We really don't want to underestimate them. So here's a few tips on facilitating collaborative discussions. You also, you want to make sure you're creating a classroom community like we do. Provide open-ended prompts and questions. So we don't want just one answer. We want them to really think about things. Demonstrate interest and respect for children always. Provide many opportunities for children to talk and discuss. So they can do this individually, they can do this in groups, they can do this with the teacher, they can do this with families. Lots of opportunities for children to share, talk, and discuss. So here's some integrating literacy tips. So start with a book. So in the beginning of this presentation, I share with you a virtual library I created with science and social studies books. And they link right to YouTube videos which read aloud the book. Also, do a lot with STEM literacy. Talk about science, technology, engineering, math, and find books that support these ideas. You can have children create props that go along with what they're learning in the stories. And this goes back with what we talked about last week with the Reader's Theater. Oh, and this is something I'm just learning about, create linktivities. So I also have a resource for you to see in our module this week of things that you can do basically where children have links and do some research and learning through these link activities, basically. Again, trying Reader's Theater is a great idea. This video is also linked within the module this week. Oh, I'm sorry, I was confused. I mentioned the Reader's Theater. It's an upcoming assignment. So you're going to create a script and prop for a Reader's Theater activity that can be done virtually. You're going to create characters, come up with ways to solve the problem. There's got to be a problem, and then record and share. So what I want you to think about is how you can do this virtually. You can, I think I explained this in the assignment, but I'm going to say it here too. You can work with your peers in a team to do this. You can also recruit the person that you're or the child or children that you're working with for your Readers Theater assignment. I'm sorry, for your service learning assignment, and have them do it with you. You can recruit your children, your family, whoever you would like to recruit and take part in your Readers Theater activity. And this will also count as one of your service learning activities. It can count as one of your service learning activities. And you can do it based off of a science idea or a social studies idea, or if you can find a way to integrate both of them, that's fine too. And I do share examples of what students have done in the past. Also, you're going to do a tic-tac-toe tech choice. You're going to create a science and or social studies activity using one of the following tools. So you can use Padlet, Evernote, KidBlog, VoiceThread, Nearpod, Weebly, Google Docs, EDU Creations, or you decide on the technology tool that you want to use. And that's it. Thank you, everyone.